Unique fashion. Elam Road. Shout out to my boy E. Keep it going. This for you, boy. Boy, I got a unique I had to get it out.
Check it, man. It's a unique hustle, man. I'm here, man, today. Man, hey, my co-host, the lovely, official Miss Jamaica. And we got a legend, right, Steph?
Yes, we do.
In the clothes game, he a legend. The things that he done. When I first came in the game, I met this guy, man, and it was a long time ago. We didn't really have a lot back then, did we? I think I was selling apple bottoms back then and stuff. But this guy had to experience. I couldn't even afford his stuff at the time. He was dealing with Caesar. I think that was one of the first lines I really seen him. But he go back to Dada days and all that. But, man, give it up, man. My boy Justice Owen in the building, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, fam. You know, everything is lovely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what's up with you, man? How you been doing?
Man, I'm maintaining during this COVID days, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of sad news out there. People like left and right just dropping like
Yeah,
flies.
man, it's crazy, man.
You know, so
it's just crazy, man, because, you know, it's a time where we all stuck in a different situation than I ever faced in my life. I can't speak for you, but I had never seen nothing like this until now, you know, as far as the way that they shut everything down, you know?
Yeah, this is new for everybody, man. This is the new world we live in, you know, like they got that new world order going on.
Yeah.
Same thing with like every industry you're dealing with. Everything is turning into a whole different cipher. When I say cipher, I mean like 360 degrees, man.
Yeah, man. So just do me a favor. I always do this stuff, and then I'll let you answer some questions, okay? But just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the clothing game, and just who you are as an individual, man, and just a few of your accolades, man.
Yeah, well, when I got in the clothing game, see, my brother Chris Black, he was like in this game first. He's like one of the original guys that came in when Cross Colors first came out. Okay. And he ended up getting with, you know, his partner, which is, you know, a family, Flavor Flav and Chuck D, and they started a line called Rap Style.
Okay.
Now, that was the first really artist line that was out, like a rap style with like entertaining line.
Okay.
And, you know, Cross Colors was going on strong. And Karl, Kani, you know, he's a good brother from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I met that guy a few times.
And Karl Jones from California.
Jones.
They united. They united together and they started Cross Color.
Okay.
And then Karl got on his own and Karl Jones went his other way. Karl Jones focused on women. Karl Kani went on the men's and did his thing called Karl Kani.
Wow.
And so my brother, he was like, you know, going to JCPenney's and all these people, like major department stores, are like, nah, we ain't doing this black stuff, you know, because it's not going to last. It's going to bring customers in still and stuff. We're going to lose product. We lose money. And they didn't really realize. They said it may last 2 or 3 years. It's just a fad. But, you know, actually this clothing game that we're in is a culture. It's a way of life. Hip-hop is a way of life.
I agree, 100%.
You know, so it's still here. And that was back in, like, what, 1990... About 92,
yeah. You was early in the game.
Yeah, 1992, something like that. Yeah.
So you just that's been your whole life, just boom, get into it, clothes.
You know, my life was like, man, coming from New York, I had a lot of hustles. You know, what
I'm
I'm saying?
Oh man, I respect them dudes, man.
You
guys, I told you this before, man. Y'all are a different level of hustle out there.
Yeah, you know, but what you had to do is, you know, you had to figure a way like to make this legit. You know, that way you don't have no stress over your shoulder or any other direction. So, you know, change your game around and do something that can uplift you and your family and the community.
Yeah.
And that's where we came into the clothing game.
That's what's up, man. Like I said, man, ever since I've been in the game, I seen you. And every time I see you, I ain't gonna lie, just like I think about the clothes. I can't think of nothing else. Like, that's the only thing I know. Like, when I think of you, I think of fashion, man. You are fashion, hip hop, and all that, man. I'd be like, Justice here. I know it's clothes thing.
Oh man, let me tell you, I got down with Dada. Dada was one of the first lines.
Yeah, I remember Dada. I had some.
You know, and you know the Koreans, they like kind of bootlegged it and took us out of business.
Oh, yeah, that's how that thing
That's what
ended.
happened. Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, so those Koreans and you know, then I went with Karl Kani. we started a new line called Life by Karl Kani with, with his baby son.
Yeah.
And we took that to another level.
Man, that boy there, man, I see him now. He moving around a little bit. I talked to him a few times on the phone. I called him up. He really, you know, me and him talked about different things, promo, and I was like, man, you gonna bring that brand back. He tried to push hard right before this pandemic. You
he's still doing it. It's selling in Europe.
Yeah,
because
he don't have to be. Yeah, don't even. That's the way it be, man. It be in other countries.
I mean, if you look at Facebook today and Instagram, you see him posting stuff like big time, and it's all over the, all over the world, man. He's worldwide. Wow. But he has his stores, Karl Kani stores, like in China and Italy and in Europe, all over Europe. So those, Europe dollars is making money for him.
Wow.
Okay, but let me ask you a question about Karl Kani, though. You know how with brands, when they're dying, a lot of times you start seeing them in like City Trends and DDs and all of that. Karl Kani never really ended up in those stores, have it?
Not really, because at that time, discount stores was like, they're not like they are today, where, like, for instance, City Trends took me out of business with the Parigi group, which was, I did Baby Fat, Fat Farmer, Nietzsche, Academic Kids, and we did the kids, and, they ran that, and they was getting product, the same windows that we shipping the small moms and pops store.
Right, that's what we hate about.
You can't compete.
That's what we hate.
With them.
I just did a brand, and when I did it, one of my customers called me back immediately and say, this is in Ross. And I was like, man, are you serious? And I had just bought it. Yeah. And it was like, wow, man.
But you kill when they do that, they kill us.
Like, I didn't even.
shops.
I didn't even look back at it no more. And I liked the brand when I looked at it. But then I'm like, if they selling it to Ross, getting it to Ross right now, it's going. And they got to do something.
But you got to understand the business is like, all right, you buy a certain amount of clothes and then you have inventory and you don't get rid of all of it. And a company want to stay in business to keep serving you. So in order for them to get the money back, they have to drop it after season to somebody so they can get some of their money back in order to get new goods in.
And I understand that, and I really, really do understand that. But to me, when you give it to those discount stores, you have people who buy brand, they will never touch that brand again because they see it in. Correct. So they actually kill themselves by selling to those brands. They should sell discount stores out of the U.S., somewhere else, but not here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like that's what I was doing with like a lot of my lines. Like I had Caesar, and I had some really good lines that I work with, and when we had a season and getting a new delivery in, I would go get rid of my stuff in Mexico. I find stores that's located on the border that they just flip it over there. And that's the best way to do it. That way you're not hurting your business in the States too much.
I love the fact that the clothes are so universal. Yeah. That they transcend culture a lot of times. It actually, for me, the clothes, it brings people together in a way that people don't realize. To me, I think even hip-hop, all that whole thing, it pulled a lot of people together, and I think it goes unnoticed a lot of times. Because the cultures, they start to rock together. In hip-hop, what you just said, what did you say, Chuck D and all those guys? Yeah. When they came on the scene, and NWA, and I go all the way back to Special Ed and all them boys, man. I mean, Boogie Down, all them Boogie Down production. When them guys came on the scene and Run DMC them was a beast at it. They cross culture so crazy that it made peace in a lot of ways. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with like you said, the clothes. It's a universal language. Actually. It's universal. You know what I'm saying? So it's for all. And you have a lot of like European guys. They trying to emulate us now. They want to be who we want. They want to have our flavor. And that's the way it is. I mean, that's the way this culture is, because this culture is so big. It turned into a multi-billion-dollar culture when we started with nothing.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. I see you wearing fresh gear every time I see you. You wearing the Mike Cherry. How did you guys come to know each other?
Mike Cherry was the designer for Dada.
Me and him talked about that.
So he started with Dada. He was one of the co-owners and designer. And then from there, we went to Caesar. Okay. And Mike Cherry became our head designer, Caesar as well, and one of the co-owners is there.
That's what's up.
And then from there, he had he did his own, he did his own thing. But sometimes it's like, see, in the business, some brothers lose their mind, and I ain't saying Mike lost his mind, because Mike is a good brother. Yeah. But there was other owners that was like, with us, and when they start seeing a bunch of money, they lose their mind about the money going to Europe, spending money unnecessary. You got a business, you always invest your money into your business. And that's what I try to teach these young kids today.
I think that's why 50 Cent say it ain't my fault you messed up your re-up. You know, you can't mess up your re-up.
No,
that's
you shouldn't.
You gotta make sure you leave a percentage to
Have you ever
invest.
thought about doing your own line?
Yeah, I thought about it many times, you know, but I got to find the right niche and the right people.
Okay.
Because being in the business this long, you know, you have a lot of knowledge where you should know how to do all of that.
it all.
Oh yeah. I know how to do it all from sourcing to, you know, manufacturing. So I mean, it takes a lot, but you know, I mean, money is not the object really. It's about, put it like this, getting the right team together.
Yeah.
You have to get the right team together to make it be successful. I don't want to get in it and do my own line where I fail. I'm getting in to win it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about.
How many people you think you need as a team? And what categories do you need? Like, you need someone to deal with this, you need someone to deal with that. Like, I'm talking about, because there are people who are listening who maybe want to start their own line and not know what they really need.
Well, first of all, you need a good designer. And I tell everybody, like, you know, there's a lot of designers that want to be owners of their business, but it's not good to be a designer and own a business. You know, you have to put your stakes somewhere else and just stay in your place, because you can lose yourself within that business by having too much responsibility on yourself. So I would get a good designer first, make sure I got a nice team worldwide with reps.
Okay.
You know, and saying get a good lawyer.
Let me ask you
You
this.
definitely need a good lawyer too,
Okay.
because it's just like the record business. I mean, if you don't have a good lawyer in your record business, you know, you can get taken for
And
granted.
what do you need a lawyer to do for patenting purposes? Because with patenting, you see people, you can't patent fashion, so to say. You can patent a name.
The name.
That nobody can take your name.
Yeah.
But whereas fashion, that's the one thing I always hated about fashion. You come up
Knocked
with,
off.
You come up with this great design,
You're
like,
knocked
oh my
off.
God, the industry is missing this, and you make this.
Well, you could patent your logo. You know,
That's about it, but somebody else.
You know, so that's what a name and a logo. There's two different things. You know, a name is like, for instance, if I did like Just Ice and then I did a logo with my Just Ice, then, you know what I'm saying, I have to own rights to all that, and can't let nobody like take over.
I know,
bulldog
but
it.
we've been in this industry a long time where we see somebody will come out with a logo and something that says "just nice."
Yeah,
You're just
they were,
nice, but they'll come up with "just nice."
They gonna
and
knock you off.
It looks just the same. It looks similar,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Well, you get that
and
all
you
the time.
can't really just take them to court for it, because they tweaked it just this much
Mike
to
Terry
stay
told
out
me.
of being
Mike Terry
sued.
told me they was taking
Yeah.
pictures of his stuff at Magic. He was like, man, they all these people do. They take your pictures and they run back and duplicate.
Yeah,
And
they
he was
knock you off.
He
They
was
knock you
totally
off.
upset about that.
But the lawyer really can't do too much with that. The lawyer is good for to have in the business, as far as like, you know, dealing with manufacturing, dealing with you know, the financial part. You
Making
got to
sure
protect
nobody-
your money.
yeah,
You got to
protect your
protect your
money.
money. You know, and that's what a lawyer is good for.
Okay, I just wanted to get that straight so we know.
Yeah, you have to know how to protect your money, because I mean, he's gonna give you good advice as far as like, it's more like consultation. You know, somebody that knows how to handle
But a good
money.
lawyer, because
Yeah.
you always hear lawyers are crooks.
Oh yeah, you get a bunch of them too. You get a bunch of them too.
Wow.
You know.
But you know what? I wanted to ask you. You know, you say you New York. You have that New York accent still here in Texas. How long you been in Texas?
Oh man, I've been out here. Shoot, let's see. I think I came out here in '89.
And you haven't picked up the accent at all
Then I went back for a minute, and I stayed out here permanent since '92.
since '92.
But accent. I guess, you know, I travel. I travel the country. So I mean, I'm here, I'm there, and.
But your
you know,
accent is straight New York, though. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
Your accent is straight New York. You're not losing it ever.
Yeah.
But where fashion is concerned, when I think about fashion, I think about L.A., New York.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ever thinks about Texas. Why did you come to Texas and, you know, in this industry, and not stay in New York or go to L.A. or somewhere else?
Well, you know, I used to do, well, I still do too, sporting goods. You know, like I had a line that I was doing called Headmaster, which we was throwback jerseys. Throwbacks
Yeah,
were
I
like the
remember
hottest
them.
thing in
Those
the
hot,
days.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my jerseys were retailing at $300 to $175, depending if you get a replica or you get the signature series. And I'm centrally located in Texas, so I had the whole country. So I could travel to California in 2 hours. I could travel to Miami in 2 hours. I could travel to New York in 2 hours. I could travel to Chicago in 2 hours.
So Texas is
So
the middle.
I'm centrally located. So
Okay.
I mean, it was financially, and
It made sense.
Financially, and not only that, but the cost of living out here is, you get more
Way
for
better.
you get more for your dollars
Yeah,
for
yeah.
what you're
A
doing
lot
out
of people
here.
make it down here.
So
you know
that
what I'm saying?
brand, was that your bread? Would you consider that as your bread and butter?
What the yeah, I would say that was big money.
Okay, I just because I know that being a vendor or being a rep, most reps don't just rep one line.
Yeah.
They'll have multiple lines that they're dealing, but they always have one brand that's usually
Their bread and butter, yeah.
bread and butter. So
Yeah.
that's why I was trying to see if that was your bread and butter.
Oh yeah, the throwbacks were the biggest things out, and that was like back. Man, I
Nice.
can't even call a year. Shoot, I've been in this game a while.
Yeah.
But I had the whole country, so I mean, I was killing them. And I was just loving it. I was living life then. Today it got a little like more saturated. This business is, when I got in this business, it was like probably like 4 or 5 good lines out there, and now there's about 300 or 500 good lines. So I'm just saying. So I mean, it's oversaturated. It's like AFES was the military, and they located out here. They used to buy $1.5 million worth of item from any vendor that like what I was doing. Today, they probably could only buy 25,000 because it's so oversaturated that they're trying to get a piece of this, piece of that, piece of this.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
As far as racial barriers in the clothing industry when you came up, because I know I'm one that's been in the engineering department for a long time, and as far as fashion, how does that affect positions like for us? Does that hold you back in any way, or do you feel like it's a balance there?
There's still a lot of struggles for like black men as far as trying to get ahead and, get the right lines, because this industry was mostly like the Jews. They got a lot of control of this business, with the clothing line. And they usually go after their buddies and friends first. Mm-hmm. And then when they start losing money and seeing that these guys are not getting the product in the right stores, then they come after the brothers like me and other people that they think can help build their business up more. Yeah. So they usually, we usually get the till end of the dollars, and then we have to revive their business and add on. But, I mean, it's been like that since I've been in it. Besides a few people like Karl, Kani, and the brothers that decided to, do their own lines and get it started.
And when you say black men, though, is that the same thing for women?
Women too.
Okay.
Universal family.
Okay, I'm just checking because you said black men. Because I know there's a lot of women in this industry as well, black women. So I'm wondering if it goes the same way.
There's a lot of black women though now.
Oh yeah,
Lisa, I know one. Who else?
Let me tell you, in New York, in Atlanta, they got real big. Because like where I'm at right now in the Southwest, it's not that many. You don't even see probably no sisters doing this out here, unless they like sub-repping and trying to work like somebody needs the job, and I'll try to help them out. Or a couple of brothers out here that got some lines and can't do every single line. Mm-hmm. Get a young woman to help them out, because woman is a good commodity in the business. Because you got a lot of guys that own stores, and they like to be in front of women's face trying to front their money in.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes,
Most definitely.
I mean, I do shows, and sometimes these shows be pathetic because people out there that's just front and fake moves like they living like this, but I'm a real person. I'm like, I'm out here trying to make a living.
You out here keeping it 100.
Some people just like want to write $5,000, $10,000 order when they know they only can spend $1,200.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that, because that's something that I've always been real keen about, just making sure I didn't do something or say something that I wasn't going to do. And that's helped me in a situation with
Don't put your hat where you can't reach.
People, like, I never tell you I'm going to do something and don't do it.
Yeah.
I never turn an order back. I've never done that, because that's real businessmen don't do that.
No.
And so I'll never lie to you. I might tell you, hey, I'm going to check it out, and if I don't get to, or if I do and I don't want it, I don't get it. But I'll never tell you I'm going to get something and then I don't. And what I've seen at Magic a lot of times, and at the Cobb show and different places we visit, LA or wherever, or even at the showroom here locally, you'd see, I knew different people that would write out orders and then turn them back, or just do it just for the clout, I would say, or like you said, for the people that's with them at the time.
Yeah,
how does that affect you guys business-wise?
Slows it down. Because
Have you ever had an incident where you was like, dang man, I killed myself by doing that?
I mean, it's like this here. I mean, if you're gonna sit in front of a person and you want to write something, and like you said, like My word is my bond.
Yeah.
And that's what I look at in most people. And bond is life. And I give my life before my words should fail.
Yeah.
That's how I strive to live my life. But you get people that sit down there, waste your time. You got a real account that really wants it. And they like, well, I'll be back, and they never make it back. So you don't lost that money while you up here playing games with somebody else. So it's it's like you playing games with people, and I don't like to be playing.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, because the process of this. Okay, so when we come to Magic or when we come to the Cobb or whatever, we're seeing the samples. Production haven't even been made yet because we're seeing it 3, 4, 5 months ahead of time. So when people sit down and front, so to say, and say, okay, I want all of this merchandise, and then now you're going to go ahead and cut this, and then when it's time for delivery, they don't want it. So most likely those inventory that you just cut for that person is now going to later on to Ross or whoever because they can't sell it to nobody else.
Correct.
So that's the reason why a company would
That's
have
real.
all of this over.
Exactly. Now you see. Now you understand the
good.
business.
That's
You understand why.
No, I'm just breaking it down for the viewers so that they know
makes
the
sense.
reason why.
That it end up in
But
those
then
places.
also not only because of those end up is also because of because I've seen where those stores will get stuff that's not cut right because manufacturers make mistakes and it's supposed to be a small but it cut like an extra large and they send it to all of those off-price stores or you got to
get rid of the goods. You got to get rid of the goods.
They don't want to throw it away.
Yeah, so that's what happens. As you said, they take the goods and they like we got to get rid of it.
At 21 it be.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, but no, I tell you what, man. Justice, it's just it's a crazy world we live in, man. Where the times have changed to a way to where the clothing game is something to be respected. I think a lot of times because of things being so direct to consumer and the way social media platforms are, it's giving certain people a new tunnel and a new way to get to different people, far as their own merchandise, whether it be screen printing or whether it be some embroidery and you wouldn't purchase an embroidery machine. Some of those guys are eating like that, and some of those guys are eating big like that.
See, that's one of the things I was going to ask you, because just like you said that back then you only had like 3 or 4 core brands, and now you have so many brands out here that you have choices. But you have the small people, I've seen them on Facebook or Instagram, that they're printing their own shirts, and people are going crazy buying those instead of actually going to the mom and pop shops and buying, brand name clothing and stuff like that. That's what they're going after right now.
That's true. But you know what I see? Like most small moms and pops that's very successful in this business, they understand the business. You see, your store could be what? 15,000 square feet, 1,500 how many square feet your store is? Now what you do is you got to figure out how many lines do I want? This store, my store can only hold 5 lines. And I said, I can't go after, I like a lot of other lines that's making money, but I have to stick with 4 or 5 brands and give them this amount of square foot so I have a presentation.
That's right.
Because if you don't have a presentation in the store with a clothing line and you just buy bits and pieces of it, it gets lost in the store.
Lost in the sauce.
So people come in the store, they really don't see it.
But the style of a store or the layout of stores nowadays have changed compared to when we started.
Yeah.
When we started, you had this square footage of, say you had back then Coogee, and you had a whole section full of Coogee, and you had all your merchandise. You had all your merchandise on the floor, and it showed the different sizes, whatever. Now styles have changed or boutiques have changed where you'll have one of this shirt out here, you'll have everything else in the back as in sizes, but you'll have one piece of here, one piece of this, and a lot of times it'd be all mixed in together. They do it whether by color code or what looks good, but that's the way how a lot of stores are reinventing themselves right now. The way, if you look on Instagram, a lot of those bougie boutiques and stuff like that, that's how they have their stores. Even like when you go to North Park or whatever, you see that's the layout right now, and people are copying that layout to adjust to society.
Well, I tell you, what you're talking about, there's 2 different brands of store. There's a boutique store and then there's like a hip-hop store. So, I mean, boutique stores usually carry higher brands. And, when you do a higher brand, it's open stock. So you might buy like 2 or 3 items of this item here that you can sell for like $200 or $300, and then you buy 2 or 3 items of that. But when you got like a hip-hop store, you're usually buying stuff that's pre-packed so you have a presentation. So there's two different types of stores that you're looking at. But right now, the way the society is and this COVID is going on, people are buying things online.
Yeah.
So it's hurting a lot of moms and pops stores right now, which I tell people that, I'd rather go into a store so I can see the tangible item and make sure I get the right size, because a lot of stuff that people are ordering right now online, it looks good as you order it, but it comes in different sometimes.
You know how right now everything, yes, we still have brick and mortars, but especially since the pandemic, there were a lot of brick and mortars that closed and some actually went to online only, because of course, if you had a brick and mortar, you had merchandise. You're trying to get off that merchandise, so you're gonna try to get it out some way.
Yeah.
So you go online. So a lot of stores are going online now, and because of everybody's was on Amazon and ordering Amazon stuff and whatever during pandemic, so everybody's getting conditioned to going online and ordering. And like you were saying previously, like I hate online shopping, right?
Yeah.
This pandemic is the most I've ever shopped on Amazon ever, right? Because you couldn't go nowhere. You were scared to go into stores. You're scared to go to the mall. You don't know what's out there and stuff like that.
True, but I wouldn't do it.
But Amazon I did, because
you lose 20% every time.
But for me, one of my things in my mind why I would do it Amazon, because I have free returns. I can return. I don't like it, return it, get my money back, order something else. But when you order from a lot of small boutiques or, stores and whatever.
Returns you can't.
Some of them you can't return, or, they might be out of it. It's just a lot more headache. But I understand that, because you can't really compare nobody to Amazon, because Amazon is a huge.
Take the loss.
You know what I mean? Right. So unless you sign up, because I think a lot of businesses can sign up with Amazon, because a lot of these places that we are ordering from through Amazon is actually small mom and pop shops that sign up through them. I don't know how much. I've never researched it to see how much money Amazon is getting from those sales and stuff like that. But I'm sure that helped a lot of people stay afloat.
Yeah, that's true. What I want to do is I really want to give you guys a shout out.
Yeah.
Boss Talk 101. My man E.
His
wife Stephanie. I appreciate y'all asking me to come down here and interviewing me. I really appreciate that.
We appreciate you for coming, man. That's the most important thing that we, like I said, when it comes to fashion, we are in a clothing store, so we had to get the genuine people. I know we got D-Map coming up, the guy that's out of ATL.
You should know D-Map.
He don't know D-Map. You know Ralph, don't you? I'm going to get Ralph, too. Ralph with RP55.
Yeah. Well, the second thing I like to say is, Unique Fashion, #1 store out here.
Hey, man, we're working, man. God's been good.
I'm glad, because, like, a lot of people are gone today. Like you said, this pandemic really hurt a lot of people's business. And it's not easy to be, in your store every single day to take care of business and have people coming through. And, especially if you like in a strip mall and not inside a mall.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, and then you got to maintain your overheads that you have here, bills and everything. So,
it wasn't easy, man. I'm going to tell you, it was some tough months, right?
So I got to give it to y'all for being good hustlers.
It's a unique hustle.
Unique.
It's a unique hustle.
I love it. I love it, man.
like it's different. The hustle we brought to the table was different, because I come from the streets. So at the end of the day, I don't know how to do it. That's why I never was in the mall, because I wanted to be able to get in my store. When we first opened, the oil fields peaked too, and people would come through here at 2 in the morning. My friends, people I grew up with, and I could always get in my store. A lot of people couldn't; they didn't have access. So we don't really miss money. Our customers, we've grown to love the people that God has put in our life, and it's been a blessing. Like you'd be amazed at the people that really respect the business like they do, because it's been 14 years, going on 15 years, going on 14 years. And the thing is, for us to see people grow up in this store like we have, man, it's been a great thing.
My brother's called clientele. You got your clientele. The people know who you are. They come here. They're going to support you, and hopefully their kids will support you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Going,
that part makes you feel old, though. When you see the kids come in and they're grown, and you're like,
I've seen it. We've seen it. You've seen it.
Yo, man, I'm working right now with a lot of stores that I'm working with their kids when they used to run around with snotty nose.
So the kids grown now running the store.
Yeah, they pops sitting up and stuff, and these kids is like, it's a whole different culture out there too,
So what would you say your
keep my youth
your most, your busiest area that just like every time you, God bless you, you get a new line, it just peak like bam every time you can count on it.
You know, Houston's been real.
Houston's a good time.
Houston's been good to me, and New Orleans has been good to me.
New Orleans too.
Right now, the busiest place right now for me and my businesses would be Tennessee.
Tennessee
Memphis.
busy.
Wow.
Memphis is on fire.
Memphis on fire.
Wow.
Yes, they on fire.
Really?
Yeah, they on fire.
You know, I go to Memphis. Remember, I took you. I surprised her and took her to Memphis one day.
Yeah.
We went down to Beale Street and all that,
Yeah.
and we had a good time. And I seen so many of our people there. It messed me up. I'm like, man, we everywhere. I went before that too, but Tunica, Mississippi, right there. You go to the casino. I'm like, man, I say we everywhere down here.
Is there a certain brand that you carry that's really popping like that?
The one that was the best.
Right now, like my Shabazz denim
Shabazz denim.
and Refuel was blowing up in
What's that?
Tennessee.
Refuel
Lifeline.
Refuel.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
Refuel Lifeline.
Lifeline.
Which, we finished working with them, and we're building something. I got a new surprise coming out. Probably within another month. I'm not going to say nothing right now.
Was it the one? Not
but
the one you
it's gonna
told
be
me
a top
earlier.
brand.
Was
It's a top brand line.
No, I'm saying, like, could you repeat what me and you spoke earlier about the Houston deal?
Nah, that's we can speak on that because that's
Okay.
not what I'm talking about. This line
This is
here
something else.
This is a beautiful line that's coming out
For men?
The men's, the denims
Okay.
is pretty much premium, and the cost is going to be very cost effective where people could afford it.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I mean, this line here is
I know you're gonna shoot
it's
me an
gonna have-
email,
it's
so I ain't tripping.
And it got like a French name to it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Which so I'm
Let me
gonna
ask you-
leave it to there.
What was the link that these denims that you told me about had with Money Man and who else? You said somebody else.
Money Man and Lil Baby.
Money Man and Lil Baby.
But Lil Baby is not, and is this a collaboration with Money Man and Turtle Pie
What is it?
Company?
Turtle Pie?
Turtle Pie Company is a weed company that
Okay.
that's located in Northern California.
Okay.
Okay, and Money Man, he owns, that's his
part
weed
of it.
brand.
Okay.
He has a weed brand called Epidemic.
Okay. Money Man out of Atlanta, right? Yeah, I think he's out of Atlanta.
I don't know. You got Houston turned up. I know that.
Oh yeah. They love him down there.
So he's, what I mean. So I mean,
And
he's
you
doing
say Lil
things.
Baby is in the merchandise as well.
Yeah. So he's, he's doing things like, I just got.
Is he doing press for them, like with press with him? Because that's what I miss. I miss seeing the people, right, that rep the brands,
Yeah.
and you see them wearing it.
Yeah. He's not doing no press right now. He's just like wearing it in certain places. Same thing with I got what's that? Yellow Beezy. He's wearing some of my
Yellow
Shabazz.
Beezy. Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And so we take like little photos, put it out there, let retailers know who's wearing this and who's not. And back in the days, that used to have a lot of meaning. Today is not as big as it was back when, like the 80s and 90s
When people
and 2000s, where everybody's like, oh, Jay-Z's wearing this. Yo,
Yeah,
I gotta get
yeah.
this.
I used to
and
love it,
everybody,
man.
and
I was
somebody,
I was popping, man.
That was like
Good old
that was
days.
the days. That
Them
marketing.
the good old days
Those are
right there.
Great marketing, man.
Yeah.
Because marketing makes dollars,
Yeah.
So,
You know, these guys done got real wise, man. They doing the liquor now.
Yeah.
They loving the liquor movement
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
There's a lot of them doing that.
Yeah.
And they pushing that
Because
real
they know
hard.
that people gonna drink.
Oh yeah, especially during these
Cold.
pandemic days. You know what I'm saying? You sitting up in the house, depressed. Hey,
I've had a
Hey,
lot of
man.
friends who said they became alcoholic during this time.
dude, I've been sitting up there myself. Hey, give me a sip on or something.
Hey man, we got something in the bag. All you got to
It's
do is
Friday,
ask.
man. Yeah.
You need a shot? I got you.
Yeah, all right, man. You
Yeah,
know.
it's right there. We got the Henny or whatever. What else
No,
back there?
Good, sound good.
Yeah, vodka. There's some vodkas back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep something for my people, man.
Yeah, well, I'm the brown drinker. You know that.
Oh yeah, we got the Henny over there for you.
You know what I'm saying? I
Or the
don't-
Crown
I-
Apple.
I don't do the. I don't do the. I don't do the-
Get it for me, my boy. Get it
Yeah,
right.
I don't do the white people too much. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good. I'm not no racist and nothing like that. I'm just real.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
all
I
good,
respect
man.
people.
Man, I
Yeah, if you
love.
don't have no ice, I take it straight.
Yeah, I just love the way that your chemistry is with the clothing brand, man.
Yeah.
And people like you who made it worthwhile for me all these years. Even though I ain't buy you I ain't buy everything, but at the end of the day, I just love to see us, man. And when I see you, I always have a big smile because in my heart I be like, man, my people, I don't know. Even Nipsey. When I went to Nipsey's store,
Yeah.
I would always like I don't know, you probably don't know it, but I always when I would travel,
Yeah.
if I go to ATL, I go link up with somebody.
Yeah.
Florida, I go link up with
Yeah,
Purple
check out the
Carpet.
store. Yeah.
And I just go talk to the owners and deal with our people. I went,
Yeah.
I met Nipsey at the Palms Hotel. You know, I always stay there for like since '06.
Yeah.
And me and him talked, and I was like, man, you know, I was like, man, you ain't doing it like you used to do it, you know. And we was just talking, it was just me and him, you know. It wasn't nobody else. And he was like, yeah, you gonna see. And he did the store, and then he came with the music again, you know, because he had a good run at first. Then he dropped off a little bit. Then he came back up. And that's business, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's the way business go, you know what I mean? And but he was straight up a real cat when it came to the conversation. Like me and you, he wasn't no hype with him. I love that about him. And then I went and met his brother, Black Sam, and his father and his family was there, and it was just like us. It, just a spot on Slauson, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why I would go, like when we go to different people and places. Whether it be even in Jamaica, wherever we at, we see some clothes, man. We stopping. We like, what's up? You know what I mean? Shout out to them boy Tony, exclusive game down there.
Man, listen, when I was married and went on my honeymoon, I was down in the Bahamas, man. I'm up here on these bikes and riding through the Bahamas, stopping at store after store, trying my life. Like,
checking them.
Hey, yo,
like, what you had?
That's right.
Baby.
I got to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I just got to say what's up to people. You know, let them know I'm in their space, man.
Man, you've been in this game how many years total?
Oh, man, I got back, since, you could say since like 90, let's see, hold on. Nope, excuse me, 80, 89, 90.
80, so 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years in the game.
Yeah, I've been around a long time.
Been around a long time. That's 30. That's 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, at 30 years, I actually like took off. And let's see, I'm gonna tell you the years I took off because I had disappeared for 5 years. I had some other things going on. Okay. But when I came back and got in deep in it, it was like 2000. Okay. And I've been persistent and consistent.
Who would you say was the most? I know because in your heart, you're a New York guy, so it's competition out here. Who would you say was the most competitive when it came to the tenacity and the drive to keep going? And you seen them, and you like, man, that guy's still going. He pushing like me.
Yo, tell you like this, I don't even look at nobody because I'm too focused on me.
Oh, but the only reason I say that, like you got to be real. Like the guy that passed away, what was his name?
Yeah, Glenn, AZ.
AZ was on it. I seen him like I seen you. Ever since I come in the game, AZ was in the game. I see you, him, and Ralph, and y'all some brothers that I would say that when y'all epitomize the game for me, and Jackie Baker.
Yeah, Jackie Baker.
Yeah, like brother, you got all y'all just when I think of clothes and my brothers. Y'all the ones I think about.
Who's been
in fact,
too, right?
In fact, I'm going to give that brother a shout out too because Jackie helped me when I disappeared for 5 years and came back in the business to get back in.
Jackie helped.
He helped me out.
He helped me too.
So I said I appreciate that.
What did he give us? He gave us Apple Bottom. That was our first one of our first accounts. And what else? Cream.
Sour and cream.
Sour and cream. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember sour and cream.
Yeah, I was like, man, he just blessed us.
Who's been in the business longer than you and still in the business today that you know and you respect and you look up to, other than Jackie Baker?
Let's see. Oh man, I'll give my man Ray right now. My boy Ray got the sweet mobile. He was down in Florida doing it up.
Shout out to Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah.
What does he sell now?
Yeah. He live in Orlando. He's selling Kilogram and BKYS.
Whole game, man. You can keep going, man. It's just customer.
Yeah.
We had the doors open. The thing you gotta realize, man, is people like you, man. Like I said, when I look at the clothes and I see people like Karl, Kani, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Karl, Kani, or some of those guys that you heard like Fubu, I see them guys, but I always go for the one who on the ground runners, the one who really be like they started out that way, but they evolve. I get it, but I'm a dude I'm a street cat, so I it's like I don't know. You've been in Texas long enough. The Underground Kings, UGK, it's like. People like, niggas didn't know them. That's the name. Why you think they named themselves that? They love staying close to the streets.
I'm going to give it to you like the UGK, Bumby and them, man. They helped take my line off Caesar and Houston.
Really?
Those guys I got a partner out there in Houston. That's why I got to go out there next week probably to meet with them. But my man TC, he has the rapper kid and the Epidemic with Money Man. And then I got my boy Jay, who is NFL, NBA, what you call, not a scout, but what they call him, man. Anyway, he has some of those guys behind him. Yeah, he's an agent. Yeah,
Okay.
NBA, NFL agent. Yeah, so he's a big dude, man, out there, little brother, man. I respect his game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like to see brothers like that doing big things.
Man,
like that.
hey, man, to be honest with you, man, like I said, you done seen a lot of things, man. You see brands come and go. You probably see some that you named it like that ain't gonna make it, or that might make it, or some stuff you might have said it's not gonna make it skyrocket.
Hey, I tell most of these lines that I do business with is that, listen, man, this is how I operate, and I'm going to be in business longer than most of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because these lines come and go. They fade, and what happens is that sometimes they die out, and then sometimes they mismanage their money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know what's going to happen in this industry.
Yeah,
but you got to be persistent. That's
that
number
I
one.
seen that they kind of faded back. It was
It's just
one person.
For instance, Ed Hardy. You remember Ed Hardy and Christian Hardy?
Christian Hardy. He passed away.
Yeah. So the dude, man. You know, he started
Von Dutch.
Stuff. And then he took this line and made the Christian Auditor and Ed Hardy out here. Then he started selling grocery stores and all that after. But you know what? It doesn't matter to those guys because they make their money overseas.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is just play money in the States, but overseas is where the money's at. Because the people keep that stuff going. Just like I was telling you, Karl got his business overseas. A lot of guys still doing their business. They might not be hot out here,
but they still doing their business.
What's in Europe is because Europe, people follow the Europe lines.
I got a couple of questions I want to ask. Big questions. Some of them off base, some of them you listen to music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to answer this question for me. I want you to tell me your 3 favorite artists of all time, dead or alive.
Oh man, you know,
I'm saying 3. It can be hip hop. It can be R&B. It can be blues. Whatever. 3. I just want 3.
Listen, I could go back.
I only want 3.
Well, you got to understand. I'm a son, right?
I only want 3.
My father, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay. So I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? He's in the Parlor Wall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Stuff. He had a group
Your
called...
father?
Yeah. That's my pops, yeah.
So he's your number one.
Yeah, so I got to give him
What's
props.
his name?
His name is Monteith Owens.
Monteith Owens.
Solitaire.
I'm looking that dude up.
Look up the Solitaires, Monteith Owens, from Harlem River Projects, yeah.
Oh, you from Harlem?
Yeah, my pops is.
You wasn't from Harlem?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, my roots is all over
yeah,
here. You know,
so,
city,
so, okay.
Yeah, but
so
then,
your father's number, that's the first step.
Yeah, so I got to give
your father
props,
number one.
And then I give, I like KRS-One.
KRS-One, number 2, he from New York, so he gonna say that.
And then I like Rakim.
Rakim a beast. You ever met him?
Yeah. But you know what? See, I like music that uplift people, to give them knowledge. Some type of message. If you don't have a message,
you must learn.
If you don't have a message.
So what happened to Tupac?
Tupac's all right. I mean, he
from Brooklyn. He gonna say Biggie on Tupac.
No, but Tupac was like, he started dropping some science during his last years of life.
He did a lot of knowledge.
He had to come out as Thug Life commercialized in order to get the customers. And then when the people came to him, he can drop the science, and that's what he started doing.
So you said Monty Owens. I can look it up.
Yeah.
And you said KRS-One, and then you said Rakim. In that order. In that order.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and now I got another question for you. Now I know my wife got something before we shut it down, but let me ask you another question. Top 3 lines that you ever seen come through, clothing line. Top 3, the 3 lines that you feel were the top to do the best that you ever seen.
Okay, well
yeah, that's different, right? But we do clothes, so
yeah. Top lines that were really hot out there
that you ever seen.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. Karl Kani, because he changed the industry. He really his name became one of the most powerful names. I give him props because of what he done in this, venture that we dealing with. Okay, let's see, another line. Karl Kani. Let me see who else. You can go to Mitchell and Ness before they got brought by Adidas, which was my man Pete over in Philadelphia.
So clothing line, Mitchell and Ness, Karl Kani, Mitchell and Ness. In that order?
Yeah, because they was big. They were real big. They changed it up too.
Who else I thought he would have said?
They brought the athletic look into the streets. You know what I'm saying? So they took NFL, NBA, but they did the throwbacks.
Okay.
And they put it into the streetwear and they made it look real good.
Give me one more.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you like the first line that I really took off with was Dada.
Dada. So
you know why?
Okay,
Yeah.
Karl, Kani, Dada, and what was the other?
Mitchell and
Ness.
Ness.
I didn't see Mitchell
You know
and
what I'm
Ness
saying?
coming.
You know what I'm saying? And give me one more, man. Caesar.
No,
too.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but these
No,
are lines.
no.
These are I'm talking about lines that I had, but the whole industry, you know, those lines there. Like I didn't never have Mitchell and Ness, but I competed with them with Headmaster because I did throwbacks. I did like Walter Payton, Jackson State.
Yeah.
I did the collegiate and they did the pros.
Yeah, that's what's up. Any other question you got for him? You don't have nothing else for the man? Justice, man, it's been a pleasure, honor and a pleasure. I know you got to get back to your business. Justice came over hustling tonight. He brought me product and everything. You look at the jacket he got on, man, it's fly. The way Justice bring it, man, you never know how he going to bring it. That's what I love about him. He picks what he want to pick. He sells what he wants to sell. He reps what he wants to rep. And he been in the game, so he deserve it. We appreciate you for coming on Boss Talk 101, man. It's a unique
appreciate
hustle,
you
man.
and your wife, man, for having me.
For
here.
sure, man. And you coming back when you get
all
when you
the
get
time,
when you get a new line that you carry, you got to come back and you got to say, hey, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to press new lines out there like, now we got this now. Oh, he got that now. So a couple people need to see this, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Man, it's love, bro.
Much respect.
Boss Talk 101, man. It's a unique hustle.
Peace.